Welcome back to the 8 o'clock hour. Stay tuned. We're about to shoot it with Grilling with Dad in Chicago. But before that, I got a little surprise for Nick. Nick, come on in here, my friend.
What you got?
Nick, so since you gave me the brilliant idea of smoking the malt, you know what?
Yeah.
I like spice, so we're gonna spice it up a little bit. We're gonna smoke and grill some jalapenos.
I'm all about it.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
So, sir, after you. You're on tong duty. Put them on the grill, and we'll make it happen.
All right.
Oh, there you go.
I love some jalapenos.
That spice from the jalapeno is gonna go really great with that smokiness of that malt.
Yep, and the citrus of the hops.
Yes,
It'll
sir.
be great.
You're a chef, and he didn't even know it. I love it. All right, close that puppy back up, and away we go. So we're gonna jump and shoot it right off to Grilling with Dad in Chicago, and we'll come right back for our next step in grilling. Are you ready, Nick?
I'm ready.
Are you guys ready? Come on back.
What's up, David, and happy Oktoberfest weekend. Grilling with Dad here outside Chicago, and I'm showing you guys how I do my Friday night bites. But before we get to the food, I just want to say how awesome it is that we're all coming together. Even though it's only virtual this year for this Oktoberfest, it's still awesome to kind of see what the spirit of Oktoberfest is all about, and that's cooking, sharing recipes, people coming together, and just having a good time with the Big Green Egg. So if you're at home and you're watching this and you're cooking this weekend, be sure to use the hashtag Oktoberfest 2020 so we can all see what you're making, and we can make it at home as well. So for my Friday night bites, I'm making a grilled tri-tip that's going to be served on a crostini with a homemade chimichurri. So let me guys show you how I like to do that. We're going to grill up this nice piece of French bread for our crostinis, make a homemade chimichurri, couple simple ingredients, and you caught me just in time. I'm getting ready to sear off my tri-tip. So I was cooking this the reverse sear method on my large Big Green Egg. So let me open this up and show you guys what that's all about. So for bigger cuts like this, like a tri-tip or even thicker steaks, I do the reverse sear method. And what I do, so this is the expander setup, which allows for dual zone grilling, which is the absolute best accessory for the Big Green Egg you can get. And so I started the tri-tip on the indirect side with the egg cruising at about 250 degrees, and I pulled it off when it hit about 120 degrees internal, which is about 10 degrees shy of my finished temperature. Now when I pulled it off from the indirect side, I opened up all the air vents, and as you can see, that fire is getting nice and hot, and this is what we're going to sear the tri-tip. So I'm going to go about 2 minutes per side, and this is going to develop that awesome crust on the outside, which is where all that flavor is going to be at. So let's put this tri-tip on. Oh yeah, this will be delicious. And there's just something special about searing off steaks directly over charcoal like this. Creates the most amazing crust and flavor that you can get. So again, we're going to leave this on for about 2 minutes each side. I'm going to leave the lid open here and just let that crust build up on this here tri-tip. Ooh, smells so good. I wish you guys could be here. Wish I could share this with you in person, but you have to do with just watching it. So the finished temperature on this, once it's all done, is going to be about 130 internal, which is perfect for tri-tip. And then we're going to get started on the chimichurri. So I love doing chimichurri, especially with steaks, because it's a great kind of a fresh and tangy topping that you put on your steaks, and it's delicious. So once this tri-tip is ready, ooh yeah, that is nice. If you see that your fire is getting too out of hand, or it's getting too hot and you don't want the tri-tip to burn or whatever you're searing, you can always close the lid. That's going to greatly reduce the airflow, and it's going to tame those flames a little bit for you. All right. Look at this temperature just going straight up. The egg was cruising at about 450 for this sear, but the longer the lid is open, the hotter it gets. So we'll leave this closed for just a bit. Now, because it's getting super hot and you have all those flames in there, anytime that you open it, you want to make sure you burp it. So you open up just a little bit, so that a rush of fresh air isn't going to create a big fireball that's shooting at you. And look at this. Let's give this guy a quick flip. Oh yeah, that is going to be delicious. And those little charred pieces, the little charred pieces of fat are just unbelievable. For my tri-tip, as far as the prep goes, which you guys didn't have a chance to see, I keep it to a minimal. I leave a lot of the fat on actually, just remove any of the silver skin that might be on there, and otherwise I just kind of season it with your favorite steak rub. You can do salt and pepper as well, and that's all that is needed on these. You don't need a lot more. And then we're just gonna sear off that other side. Oh yeah. Love searing over charcoal, over those flames, creating that crust. It is so good. Awesome. The other nice thing when you use the expander is you don't need to remove anything to change from indirect to direct. So everything stays in the grill, and you can kind of adjust where this ceramic plate goes, where your grate goes. So again, it's easy to move from the indirect to the direct side, whatever it is that you're cooking. Oh man, this is creating some nice smoke for the neighborhood. Smells unbelievable, and we are almost there. Oh, look at that. That's sizzling away, crust building up. This thing looks to be ready. Look at this. Check that out. Let's pull this off. So now we're gonna rest this guy for a few minutes. I'm gonna close the lid. I'm gonna close this top vent almost fully, and the bottom one as well. Just a little bit. So that's gonna drastically reduce the airflow to the egg, and the temperature is gonna start creeping down, which is gonna be perfect for toasting our bread here in just a minute. But oh man, look at this tri-tip. So okay, this is gonna rest. Let's get started on the chimichurri. Put my phone here so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. For my recipe, I'm using fresh parsley. Some people also like to use cilantro, really whatever you like. And I prefer to hand chop these when I make my chimichurri. Make sure you wash it first, kind of coarsely cut it, and then we're just gonna go to town. One of these, and you know, kind of the nice thing about chimichurri, you can make it exactly however you like. You know, finely chopped, a little more coarsely chopped. Which is why I like doing it by hand, to kind of still have those bigger pieces left. If you put it in the blender, it creates more of a paste. So, not to say that that's a wrong way of doing it, but really, whichever way you like to do, it's perfect. The other awesome thing with chimichurri, so I'm using this on my tri-tip today. It's also great on chicken. Really any protein, because it's just so good, kind of this fresh, tangy flavor. So, and this is really about it. So you don't need to go any finer than this. So let me take my bowl. Okay, we're gonna put our chopped parsley right in there. Okay, so that's the first ingredient. Next I have a couple cloves of garlic. So just take these guys. We're gonna smash them down. Same thing with this one. Okay, and then just kind of do the same thing here. Chop them up a little bit. And then this will go in the chimichurri as well. Okay. Nice big pieces of garlic. So I'm doing this chimichurri right now, and we're going to be eating it here in just a few minutes. Ideally, if you can, if you're doing this at home, you want to do it the night before. Put this in the fridge and let all these flavors kind of marinate and combine. So let's do olive oil next. Just a nice dousing of olive oil. And the ratios, you can play around at home depending how you like it. If you like it more liquidy or less. Red wine vinegar goes next. This is going to give it that nice tanginess. Just a nice couple squirts of the red wine vinegar. Kosher salt is next. Again, a nice, I like my chimichurri salty, especially with steak, so I go pretty heavy on the salt. And then some freshly cracked black pepper. Okay. And last but not least, some crushed red pepper. Okay, put some of this in there for that extra kick. Now just kind of mix all this together and check this out. Look how awesome that looks. So we're gonna add a little bit more olive oil. Make this a little bit more liquidy. Okay. See, so if you do it the night before, I'm gonna add a little bit more of my crushed red pepper. If you do it the night before and you put this in the fridge, all these flavors will just kind of combine and marinate nicely, and that's really it. See how simple that was? And of course you can play around with this. You can add other spices, other herbs, really make it your own, whatever you like. So, but our chimichurri is ready. So we have one last thing to prep, and that is our French bread. So let me get this out of the way. We're gonna toast this up real quick on the egg and put these together. Should be tasty. So when slicing this, make sure you cut it at an angle, so this gives you more surface area on the bread to go a little thicker on these slices. So just something like this, you know, this is kind of what you're going for. So we'll do a couple slices here. Okay, so now the air vents on the egg are almost closed. That fire is dying out, and we're gonna put this French bread on there to crisp up a little bit and get nice and tasty. Okay, so this is ready for the egg. Switch this around. Okay, so again, slowly opening, give it a little burp. See if fire has died down, so our toast or our bread is not gonna burn. Just put it right on the grates. One more. And I mean, this will take just a few seconds to toast up. I want to keep an eye on this, making sure that it doesn't burn. That is hot. You can do a little butter on the bread as well, a little olive oil, or a little garlic butter. Really, whatever you want to do with this to get this nicely going. But this is almost ready. Our tri-tip, in the meantime, has been resting. So we're gonna slice this guy up and look at this crust. Oh man, this thing is going to be delicious. Let's check this bread. See, look at this. This is already charring up nicely. And it is almost ready. Okay, so just something like that. That's all that I need. You don't need much more. So let's pull these guys off before they burn. Oh yeah. And this last one, close this. All right, let's slice our tri-tip and put this thing together. Move my toasted bread out of the way. And here is the star of the show, our beautiful, beautiful looking tri-tip. All right, so whenever you slice tri-tip, you always want to make sure you slice against the grain, and you can see it here that the grain goes this way. If you slice it like this with the grain, it's going to be a much more chewier bite. If you slice against the grain going this way, it's going to be much more tender than if you go with the grain. So what I like to do is to just cut it right down the middle this way. Oh boy, look at this. Ooh, that looks absolutely perfect. Nice edge-to-edge pink, medium rare. So let's go ahead and make our slices. So again, the grain is going this way. We're going against the grain, and we're gonna go this way, just like so. And look at this. Oh my goodness. This is one juicy tri-tip. This will be delicious. I mean, look at this. Ooh, how good does that look? Nice crust on the outside, medium rare in the middle. Let's make a couple more slices from this piece. Oh yeah. If you're doing this at home and you're doing this for a crowd, or maybe some people like their steak more done, the end pieces here will be much more cooked than the ones in the middle. So that's why I like cooking tri-tip, because you can feed different people depending what they like with that same cut. made all at the same time. Oh my gosh, this is just good to go on its own. Look at this. Little chimichurri on top and it's ready. But we're not done yet, so let's do let's put this together. Let's do our bread, little tri-tip, little chimichurri, and we will be done with this quick and simple recipe. Let's pull this out of the way. Nice little serving platter. So how tasty is this going to be? This quick and easy recipe. So now take your pieces of tri-tip. Just goes right on the bread. Do a couple more. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Do 2, however many you'd like. I think this one's missing a little bit. Okay. Now let's take our chimichurri and just a nice little pour of chimichurri right on top. Look at that. Ooh. And just like that, in about 10 minutes, we made our Friday night bites. Crostini, grilled, tri-tip, topped with a homemade chimichurri. Only one thing left to do, and to give it a try, I'm gonna go for this guy right over here. Looks awesome. Oh my gosh, smells so unbelievable. The smell of the chimichurri, the grilled tri-tip, it is oh man, so good. And the tri-tip is so juicy. It is just flowing down my arm. So that's gonna be it from me. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. Again, if you're cooking at home, use hashtag Oktoberfest 2020 so we can all see what you're making. Enjoy this weekend, even though it's virtual. Hopefully we'll get to come in person and do it together next year. But for now, this is Grillin' with Dad, signing out of Chicago, and back to you, David, in Atlanta.
Thank you so much, Grilling with Dad, straight out of Chicago. Well, Nick, I was in your world, now welcome to my world, my friend. We have some delicious, remember those bone-in ribeyes. We're gonna go ahead, we did a nice reverse sear on them, got it to them a delicious, perfect medium rare, but we're not done yet. We're gonna get that nice, hard, crusty sear. So we're doing it 3 different ways.
Whoa.
We're doing right on the grill, we're doing on a cast iron,
Okay.
and for you, something very special. We're gonna do caveman style.
Caveman.
You know what caveman style is?
No.
You gotta grunt first.
No.
All right, so what you do right here, you see those hot charcoals? You're gonna take that right there by the handle and put it right into the charcoal.
For
Make
real?
it happen, Nick.
For
We're
real?
going caveman. We're going full caveman.
This doesn't sound right to me.
Do it with authority, too.
All right.
Like you mean it. Just like that. Just like that. Put it down. Let it sear. Let it do its thing. Just like that. Let it hang out. Get a nice sear on both sides. You take it out. That right there is caveman style.
All right.
All right.
I hope this wasn't a sin.
It's gonna be amazing, my friend. So make sure come back at the top of the 9 o'clock hour with Barbecue Buddha out of Louisville, Kentucky. Let's get the rest of these steaks on. Come back, guys.